everyone, this is Jamie from Serials, the PNN webcast series that chronicles your stories. Today I'm talking to one of my favorite new musicians. His name is Justin Bennett. Justin released his first EP back in December. It's called Walk Away, and he is currently working on his first album, which should be out soon. So Justin's here today to talk to us about music. Here he is.
So did you always know that you wanted to be a musician when you were growing up, or did you, want to be like a archaeologist, ballerina? I don't know.
Yeah, ballerina. It was actually kind of funny. I didn't know that I knew I wanted to be a musician. I knew that when my parents would drive, they'd listen to the radio, and I would be sitting in the back seat singing the the harmony lines. I'd never sing the main melody, and I just thought that was how all kids sang, and then so I started going to church with a friend, I remember, and during all the worship songs, I would always be singing the harmonies, and they'd always be looking at me weird, and I don't think I really understood that I wanted to be a musician, but I knew that without music I would die. I mean, it was, I listened to a lot of Aerosmith and the Beatles and Fleetwood Mac, and most of the kids my age were listening to, I don't even know what they were listening to really because I wasn't into it, but when I was about 14 is when I decided that music was what the career that I felt like God had for me.
So do you remember the first song you wrote?
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny because the first song I wrote was Walk Away, but it just started on guitar and I never wrote any lyrics for it, and then I just stopped playing guitar for a couple years during high school because I got into sports, and I came back to it once I was playing a lot, and then I wrote lyrics to it, and it ended up being the title track of the EP.
Wow, so how old were you when you wrote that then?
I wrote the guitar part when I was 15, and then I just never played it again. And then when I was 21, 22, like 22 and a half, I wrote lyrics to it, and it just kind of came together. It was weird because it just kind of almost felt like how it was supposed to happen. It wasn't forced. It just, when the lyrics seemed to fit, I thought, well, I only have one song on guitar, so I might as well put them together.
Oh, that works out well.
Yeah, that worked out okay.
You said you started writing at a really young age.
Yeah, poetry, and I never saw my songs. I never heard music, or maybe I did. I don't remember if I heard music in my head while I wrote them, but I had kind of a weird childhood, to say the least, so I just had a lot of stuff to vent. So when I was in detention, I would always write. Kind of ironic, but.
So do you notice any recurring themes in your work?
Sometimes. I mean, yeah, I would say most likely perseverance, because I think everyone's has, relatively speaking, everyone's had a hard time. Everyone's got something that they've went through, but everyone vents differently, and I try to write a lot about persevering through hard times and not being apathetic and just finding the silver lining in every situation. I think you see that in a lot of my songs. They're not really pessimistic, and I think that's just because my belief about the world is that one of the biggest problems is apathy and the unwillingness to change or grow, and so I don't want to enforce that through the way I write. I'd rather help fix the problem. This
is kind of like a hard, abstract question to answer, but
Sure.
What role has music played in your life? And maybe like a more specific version of that is, what do you think your life would be like if you didn't have music? Like, you just didn't know it existed, or however you want to think about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, the first part, I would say that the role that music plays in my life is very cathartic. There are times when I'm angry, and the only thing I can do is play music, and, likewise with being sad, and likewise with being excited. Sometimes there's no other way to vent those feelings, and so I'm able to write a song. Sometimes I won't even write it down, or there won't even be lyrics, I'll just play, and that's almost me feeling. But as far as not knowing what I'd do without music, I have that discussion with a lot of my artist friends, and I mean, we were talking about it, and we came to the conclusion that we don't do music, and myself specifically, I don't do music because I think I'm good at it. I don't do it because it's fun. I don't do it because I think it's cool. I do it because if I didn't, I would die. I mean, there's really no other way to look at it. If there was no music, then I can't really wrap my mind around what the meaning of my life would be.
Yeah, that's a good answer. It's definitely kind of a hard concept to imagine.
Yeah, I can't picture it, and I would never want to.